Check it out. This video is about a tragic situation where alleged WESTSIDE Longo gang member Victor Herrera had his life ended by sock horn whore who is a member of the Asian Boys Crips. But before we get into it, if you could leave a like and subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate it. But without further ado, let's go into the video. It all started on September 8, 2018 at around 11 p.m. Victor Herrera and his 12-year-old daughter were crossing the street in a crosswalk when a red Lexus car came toward them fast and stopped directly in front of them. Now, this driver was Sock Horn Whore, a member of the Asian Boys Crips gang. Victor told the driver Sock Horn, "You almost hit my daughter. Why didn't you stop at the red light? I'm from the West Side." Sock Horn then apologized and pulled his red Lexus car to the side. Victor and Sock Horn began to argue, and Sock Horn, who remained in the car, challenged Victor to a fight. At that point, Victor's daughter ran home crying and scared. Victor and Sock Horn continued arguing, with Sock Horn yelling, "F Chongos," which is a slur against WESTSIDE Longo gang members, and Sock Horn screamed, "Asian Boys," as well to represent Sock Horn's Asian Boys gang affiliation. Meanwhile, Victor's nephew Escobar heard his uncle Victor was in trouble. Escobar ran to Victor, but Victor, in a panic, pointed to the red Lexus car with Sock Horn inside. Sock Horn, revving the car's engine and tires screeching, drove full speed towards Victor and Escobar. Escobar was not hit, but the car hit Victor. Afterwards, Sock Horn then sped off in his red Lexus car. When Victor was hit, he went over the car's hood, hit the windshield, and then, with his head first, struck the ground, where he laid on his back motionless. Victor died at the hospital later on. A deputy medical examiner determined blunt head trauma as the cause and homicide as the manner of Victor's death. Later on that same night, and a few miles from where Victor had been hit, Long Beach police officer Steve Baranowski observed a red Lexus driven by Asian Boys member Sock Horn Whore accelerating through a red light. Baranowski activated the lights and siren of his police car and pursued the Lexus, which fled at a high rate of speed. Baranowski lost sight of the Lexus at a sharp blind curve in the roadway covered by a cloud of dust. Baranowski initially thought the car may have been involved in a collision and disabled, but then he saw it further down the street as it continued to drive at high speeds. Large sparks flew from the Lexus passenger side. Part of the vehicle, which was then missing its front passenger wheel, was grinding against the asphalt as it traveled. Baranowski and other officers in their police cars chased the Lexus as it raced non-stop through red lights and stop signs until it crashed into other parked cars. Sock Horn Whore then exited out of the Lexus. When Sock Horn was taken into custody by the officers, Sock Horn asked a Long Beach police officer named Officer Cobb a question. When the officer said he did not know the answer, Sock Horn stated, "You, cuh, do you know who you are talking to? I'm from Asian Boys. This is my city. This is my town." Afterwards, Officer Cobb took Sock Horn to the hospital for medical clearance, under the suspicion that Sock Horn may be driving under the influence. At the hospital, Sock Horn said to Cobb, "Keep looking at me, you little you know I gangbang." He also said, "Take your uniform off and I'll show you how the Asian boys get down." After receiving medical clearance, Sock Horn was taken to the Long Beach Police Department for booking, the process of which included the noting of tattoos. Sock Horn had 2 tattoos, the letters A and B tattooed on both arms. When Officer Cobb described Sock Horn's tattoo to his officer partner, who was completing the booking form, Sock Horn turned to Cobb and stated, "That's right, Asian Boys." Unfortunately, Sock Horn admitting this would be used against him in a court hearing. During the court hearing, the Asian Boys was described as an Asian criminal street gang based in East Side Long Beach. Unlike traditional turf gangs, it operated without claiming a certain area. Rivals included Hispanic gangs like LONGOS, Barrio Pobre, and 18th Street, with LONGOS having WESTSIDE, EASTSIDE, and NORTHSIDE factions in Long Beach. During the prosecution of Sockhorn, photographs of items removed from Sockhorn during the arrest included Sockhorn's New York Yankees baseball cap. Prosecutors used this as evidence for Sockhorn's Asian Boys gang affiliation. Another piece of evidence to allege Sockhorn's gang affiliation were his tattoos. There was an A on Sockhorn's left arm and a B over right arm. The prosecution stated the A represented Asian and B was boys, together forming Asian Boys. Sockhorn's other tattoo, a skull with a blue bandana, was also used by the prosecution as well. The argument was that the Asian Boys was a Crips gang. Crips typically wore or associated with themselves with the color blue. Asian Boys members have been known to possess blue bandanas. In the end, Sockhorn was convicted for the second-degree murder of Victor Herrera, and Sockhorn was sentenced to 15 years to state prison. Overall, this is a really sad situation. Victor losing his life. He was the father to around 7 children. In addition, Sockhorn, when he was arguing with Victor, Sockhorn was in his car. Easily, if the argument got nasty, Sockhorn could have drove away from the situation. But instead, Sockhorn decided to use that car and hit Victor, and Victor dying afterwards. Now, some could argue that maybe Victor was not totally blameless. In the encounter, he said, "I'm from WESTSIDE." What could that mean? That could mean he's trying to represent the WESTSIDE LONGOS, a natural enemy of the Asian Boys, right? Trying to provoke Sockhorn, who is a member of the Asian Boys. So either Victor was saying that to represent his gang, the WESTSIDE LONGOS, or maybe he simply said, "I'm from WESTSIDE" as a way to provoke Sockhorn. You see, if one is not an Asian member's gang, right, and that person is just Asian, and somebody says, "WESTSIDE, I'm from WESTSIDE," the other person may be more confused than offended. But if you say, "I'm from WESTSIDE" to someone who is from the Asian Boys gang, and of course, naturally, WESTSIDE LONGOS are enemies of Asian Boys and Asian Boys are enemies of WESTSIDE LONGO, then saying WESTSIDE to an Asian Boys gang member may be considered offensive, thus causing an escalation to arguments, and even in this situation where Sockhorn, Asian Boys gang member, hit Victor and ending his life afterwards. Finally, what's really tragic about this situation is Sockhorn. Why did he have to use a Lexus to hit and kill someone? I mean, come on. Why not just use something trashy, right? Sockhorn is obviously a trashy guy, low class. Why not just use a Honda, right? Why not just drive like a beat-up Honda and commit the crime? At least you try to fulfill certain things. With a Lexus, it's supposed to represent classiness, reliability, something that's high-end, right? You driving a Lexus is kind of ruining the Lexus brand. So Sockhorn, if you had committed this crime in a Honda, I understand, because yes, as a trashy individual, you may be driving trashy cars, but come on, a Lexus? Come on, it's bringing the brand name down. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, put a like and subscribe. Put a comment below if you got something to say about it. I'll see you all next time.